4 a.m. First Fruits. This is a chapter by chapter Bible study series, and we are in 2 Kings chapter 5. The last chapter, we saw the widow's oil multiplied, a Shunammite woman's hospitality, the birth of her son that was a gift from God, his resurrection later on. The Bible is really showing us Elisha's miracles and how God is using him to give himself glory. 2 Kings chapter 5. A man, commander of the army for the king of Aram, was a man important to his master and highly regarded because through him the Lord had given victory to Aram. The man was a valiant warrior, but he also had a skin disease. I love how the Bible just gets to the point sometimes. Aram had gone on raids and brought back from the land of Israel a young girl who served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "If only my master were with the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his skin disease." So Naaman went and told his master what the girl from the land of Israel had said. Therefore the king of Aram said, "Go, and I will send a letter with you to the king of Israel." Here we have this marginalized young girl with no name, a slave, a servant, a foreigner, who is suggesting to Naaman to go get healed from Elisha. Her courage and her faith put her at the center of God's redemptive plan. God works through overlooked people. So he went and took with him 750 pounds of silver, 150 pounds of gold, and 10 sets of clothing. He brought the letter to the king of Israel, and it read, "When this letter comes to you, note, I have sent you my servant Naaman for you to cure him of his skin disease." When the king of Israel read this letter, he tore his clothes and asked, "Am I God in giving life that this man expects me to cure a man of his skin disease? Recognize that he is only picking a fight with me." The king of Israel is seeing this as a pretext for war. God is so far from this king's mind that he doesn't even think about Elisha. Oh yeah, that guy. Verse 8, when Elijah, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent a message to the king. "Why have you torn your clothes? Have him come to me, and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses, his chariots, and stood at the door of Elisha's house. Imagine the kind of entrance that must have been. Verse 10, then Elisha sent him a messenger who said, "Go, wash 7 times in the Jordan, and your skin will be restored, and you will be clean." But Naaman got angry and left, saying, "I was telling myself that he will surely come out, stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place and cure the skin disease. Aren't Abana and Parfar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Couldn't I just wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and left in a rage. The pride that is going into this whole interaction, and then when you're thinking to yourself on how something should go that God is in charge of, most often we are going to be wrong. He is thinking that this is going to be this miraculous, grand healing, and it's not that. This powerful commander expects an equally magnificent cure when Elijah just tells him to go clean off in a muddy river. I love it though. I love how God is always running counter from worldly expectations. Boom! God's ways are not based on human concepts. Verse 13, but his servants approached him and said to him, "My father, if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more should you do it when he only tells you to wash and be clean?" So Naaman went down and dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times according to the command of the man of God. Then his skin was restored and became like the skin of a small boy, and he was clean. I wish I could dip my face in the Jordan and get rid of some of these wrinkles. He humbled himself and just listened to his servant and did what Elisha told him to do. And that faith-filled act led to the miracle of healing on his skin. Then Naaman and his whole company went back to the man of God, stood before him, and declared, "I know there's no God in the whole world except in Israel." God's glory. Therefore, please accept a gift from your servant. But Elisha said, as the Lord lives, in whose presence I stand, I will not accept it. Naaman urged him to accept it, but he refused. God's power is not for sale, and the gift of faith is free to all. Naaman responded, if not, please let your servant be given as much soil as a pair of mules can carry, for your servant will no longer offer a burnt offering or a sacrifice to any other god but the Lord. Not only did this man get healed physically, but spiritually, he was also healed. He converted. Here's an issue with Gehazi. After Naaman had traveled a short distance from Elisha, Gehazi, the attendant of Elijah, the man of God, thought, here we are with thoughts, my master has let this Aramean of Naaman off lightly by not accepting from him what he brought. As the Lord lives, I will run after him and get something from him. So Gehazi pursued Naaman. When Naaman saw someone running after him, he got down from the chariot to meet him and asked, is everything all right? Gehazi said, it's all right. My master has sent me to say, I have just now discovered that 2 young men from the sons of the prophets have come to me from the hill country of Ephraim. Please give them 75 pounds of silver and 2 sets of clothing. But Naaman insisted, please accept 150 pounds, and he urged Gehazi and then packed 150 pounds of silver in 2 bags with 2 sets of clothing. Naaman gave them the 2 of his attendants who carried them ahead of Gehazi. When Gehazi came to the hill, he took the gifts from them and deposited them in the house. Then he dismissed the men, and they left. So Gehazi made up this whole story about these sons of the prophets and said it even came from Elijah, which is messing up the whole point that Elijah didn't take anything from him from the beginning. Gehazi came and stood by his master. Where did you go, Gehazi? Elijah asked him. He replied, your servant didn't go anywhere. He's lying. He deceived Naaman, and here he is deceiving and lying to Elisha. Verse 26, and my heart didn't go when the man got down from his chariot to meet you, Elisha said. Is this a time to accept silver and clothing, olive orchards and vineyards and flocks and herds and male and female slaves? Therefore, Naaman's skin disease will cling to you and your descendants forever. So Gehazi went out from his presence, diseased, resembling snow. What an ironic contrast we have here between Naaman's humbling, healing physically, spiritually, converting, to Gehazi, an insider, someone directly close to the man of God, is consumed with greed and deceit and makes these decisions, ultimately resulting in him having the skin disease. Power belongs to God and not people. And who are we to overlook people when God uses those very same types of people? God's ways are not based on our concepts of prestige and power. I mean, just look how Jesus entered the earth. I'm feeling so at ease and at peace today, just reading his word, and I thank you so much if you're reading this with me, and I will see you all in the next 4 a.m. when we cover chapter 6, which if you're on the same day with me, will be on the Monday. I don't film on Sundays. I take a break. All right, I love you guys.